Hello, my name is Jenny. I live in London. I rent a small flat, and I teach English literature at a university. But in summer, there are no classes, so every summer I take a small job, and every summer, something strange happens to me. This is the story of a glass jar, a milk van, and one word that everybody used wrong. If stories like this help you learn English, please subscribe. And if you like mysteries, give this video a like. It means a lot. Now, listen carefully. Every detail is important. That summer, I was a waitress at the Blue Cup, a small café near the river. I used to walk past it every day on my way to the university. And that summer, I finally worked there. The cafe had a small team. Mr. Bell, the owner, a kind old man. He opened the Blue Cup 30 years ago, and he knew every customer by name. Kate, the older waitress, she knew everything about everybody. And Danny, the new dishwasher, 19 years old, very quiet, very shy. And there was the jar, a big glass jar next to the till, with a paper label, tips. All our tip money went into that jar, and every Friday we shared it. Kate told me. I wrote that label last month, dear. Before that, this jar used to be the change jar, small coins for the till. It stood in that same place for 20 years. Remember this, my friend. Remember the label, and remember the 20 years. Now, the mystery. Every Wednesday morning, Kate counted the tips, and every Wednesday, some money was missing. Not much, a handful of coins, but always after a Tuesday. Monday, nothing. Tuesday, and on Wednesday morning, coins were gone. Week after week, only Tuesdays. Why Tuesdays? What was special about Tuesdays? Kate had an answer. She looked at Danny, and she said quietly, "The boy, he is new, he has no money. And tell me, Jenny, why does he stay late every evening, after closing? What is he doing here, alone?" It was true. Danny used to leave last every day. The door closed, and he stayed. I asked him once, "Danny, what do you do here in the evenings?" His face went red. "Nothing," he said. "Nothing." And he looked at the floor. Oh, Danny, that nothing sounded very much like something. Everybody in the cafe started watching him. When he walked past the jar, Kate watched. When he counted his own coins, Kate watched. Poor boy. He dropped 2 cups that week. But I am a teacher, and a teacher does not give a bad mark without checking the homework. So, one Tuesday evening, I stayed late too. I sat in the dark corner of the cafe, and I watched the jar. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9. Danny washed his dishes, turned off the light in the kitchen, and went home. He did not touch the jar. Nobody touched the jar. But on Wednesday morning, coins were missing again. I could not understand it. The cafe was empty all night. The jar was full in the evening and lighter in the morning, so the coins disappeared between night and morning. And then, Kate said something. She was not even talking about the mystery. She was just remembering the old days. "Ah, Tuesdays," she said. "Tuesday is delivery day. Fred the milkman comes at 7 in the morning. He has come every Tuesday for 20 years. In the old days, Mr. Bell used to pay him from that jar. Every Tuesday, He would take a handful of coins, he would pay Fred, and he would write it in his little black book. 20 years, dear. But that was when it was the change jar, of course. I stopped. My teacher's ears heard something. Used to, she said, used to. A habit from the past. A habit that is finished. But wait. Fred still comes every Tuesday at 7. The cafe opens at 8. The till is locked until 8. So tell me, my friend, when Fred comes at 7 and the till is locked, where does Mr. Bell get the coins? Tuesday morning, I came to the cafe at 6:30. I stood across the street, and I waited. At 7 o'clock, the milk van arrived. Fred carried the milk to the door, and Mr. Bell came out, half asleep, in his old cardigan. He walked to the till. He did not open it. His hand went left, to the glass jar. He took a handful of coins, paid Fred, wrote something in his little black book, and smiled. He did not look at the jar. He did not read the label. His eyes were not working yet, but his hand remembered 20 years. He was not a thief. He was a habit. That afternoon, I showed him the label on the jar. Tips. He read it, once, twice, and his face, first white, then red, then he started laughing. "Oh no," he said. "Oh no, no, no. I used to pay Fred from this jar, years ago. No, wait, I still pay Fred from this jar. Every Tuesday. I never stopped. I never saw the new label. My hand just goes there." And here's the beautiful part. He opened his little black book. Inside, every payment, every Tuesday, every handful of coins, written down, for 20 years. We counted. The numbers matched the missing tips, coin by coin. He paid everything back, double. "For the trouble," he said, "and for my old hands." And Danny? That evening, we finally asked him, "Danny, why do you stay late?" He went red again. Then he walked to the coffee machine and made a cup of coffee. On the top, in the white milk, there was a perfect little heart. "I practice," he said quietly. "Every evening, I want to be a barista, not a dishwasher, forever." Mr. Bell looked at the heart in the cup and said, "From Monday, you practice with me, officially." So nobody was a thief that summer. There was only an old habit, a new label, and a shy boy with a dream. And me? I was learning something important. People say "used to" about the past, but sometimes the past does not know that it is finished. Now, open my notebook with me. 3 clues from tonight. Clue number 1. Mr. Bell used to pay the milkman from this jar. Used to, plus a verb, a habit in the past, something that happened many times, long ago. Clue number 2. Every Tuesday he would take a handful of coins, would, plus a verb, the same idea, repeated actions in the past. He would take, he would pay, he would write. Clue number 3. The most important. Used to means the habit stopped, but Mr. Bell's habit never stopped. So the true sentence was not "he used to pay." The true sentence was "he still pays." One small word solved the whole mystery. And now, your turn, detective. Tell me in the comments, what did you used to do when you were a child that you don't do now? Write, "I used to." I read every comment, and next time, I will tell you about a man on a train. He said he took that train every month, every single month, but he could not answer one very simple question. See you, my friend.